Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
This time we want to bring you something special. We want to bring you some law school hacks.
For all of my aspiring lawyers, law students, or even one else.
Even one else, yeah. So these are things that either we did ourselves, we heard from the streets, we heard from common advice, whatever, but they're things that we believe in.
And I guess I'll get us started with the first hack because I think that for me this was the most important when I came to this realization. You do not have to buy new books. A lot of people will tell you that you're going to law school, you need it to be fresh, you want to write in all the margins and all these things, but you really do not need new books. There's tons of ways to get around the fact that there's a little bit of writing in the margins, and you also can get books with barely any writing in them. So don't think you have to buy new books. And secondly, especially for the 2Ls and the 3Ls, etc., you don't even need to buy books. You can literally go to the library and scan every page of a new book if you need one. They will have books for you on reserve in the library.
Yeah, the library always has every assigned book, so it's definitely going to be in a library.
So you can literally go in and scan every single page. It's not going to take that long. It's not going to take as long as you think.
It's really not.
The machine is A1. It scans 2 pages at once if it's like Columbia's, and there's no reason to buy books or every single book at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely scan books.
Yeah, I did too. And then you front load the burden because it's inconvenient in the beginning, but then for the rest of the semester you just saved money and you have your whole book.
Oh, a hack in a hack.
Okay, what's up?
You can get a team together and scan the book as a group.
Oh,
we did that too.
We did that.
You take page 1 to 200. I'll take 200 to 400.
I forgot about that.
You take 400 to 600.
Did that.
So hack within a hack.
Yep. And I think, do you want to talk about that con law thing?
Oh, right. So another hack within a hack is that when books are super thick, what I'm thinking about off the top of my head is our con law book. It was no exaggeration.
Yeah, it was
for anyone who's not in law school. The book is huge. You can find a binder version of it so you can just extract the pages that you need for that day. So people do that all the time in our section. You just take out the 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever pages you needed for that day of class. You can take it out and take it with you instead of logging around that big old book.
Exactly. And speaking of con law, that brings me to my first hack. So hack number, I think we're on 3 or 4 now. So for con law and for a lot of your classes, you're reading Supreme Court cases. So it's actually helpful to familiarize yourself with the Supreme Court justices and maybe a few of the recent Supreme Court justices, because you're going to be reading a lot of cases. A lot of them will be more recent, and you'll have an understanding of the ideological makeup of the Supreme Court. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch our Law Facts video on the Supreme Court. But yeah, that's actually really helpful. Someone told me to read this book before law school. It was called Think Like a Lawyer or something like that. It actually wasn't that helpful. It would have been more helpful. I would have spent my time learning more so about the Supreme Court and how that works, because I had no idea how the Supreme Court worked before I got to law school.
Definitely. I couldn't name more than a handful of justices before.
I don't think I can name one.
I think I could name a few because I always heard about Clarence Thomas. Just in regular colloquial conversations.
Oh, so I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
Until I got to law school. And then I was like, I'm happy I didn't know who that was.
Definitely heard a lot about Clarence Thomas. But I also did the same thing as Angel. I familiarized myself before starting law school with all the justices. So by the time
I didn't do that.
I thought you said you read the book.
No, so I read a book and it didn't have that in there. It was about
I thought you read the book and that's how you did that.
No, it was about legal concepts like slippery slope and all that stuff. And it's I could have learned that stuff in law school. The concepts weren't that deep. I was thinking I wish instead of the time I spent reading that book and thinking it was gonna be the legal Bible, I wish I would have actually learned more about the Supreme Court instead.
Oh yeah,
I would have been a better use of my time.
And then just laid out all these old justices, justices. It was definitely helpful for me for common law for sure. So another hack that I had was when it comes to outlines. We've talked a ton about outlines. I know if you're thinking about law school, you've heard about outlines.
We're gonna put our outlining video right up here.
Another hack I would say is to join as many organizations as you're interested in for the benefit of receiving the outlines. So I don't want to say join every single organization in the school, but if you're somewhat interested in an organization, it doesn't hurt to join because many organizations have outline banks, and when you have access to more outline banks, you have access to more outlines.
Exactly, and being a paying dues member is enough to get access to the outlines, not there's a meetings requirement or anything like that. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be a huge time commitment to join more organizations for the outlines.
Exactly. And a little side note plug, I know all schools are different. For most organizations, they will cover dues for those who can't afford it for whatever reasons. I know, like, I was on the BOSA board for a while, and we had a process where you can email us or contact anyone on the board, and we would cover fees, whether it was like for retreat, for membership, whatever it was. And you don't have to prove anything, you don't have to say anything. It was literally just completely confidential, like, hey, I can't afford to join this organization right now, and that's it. And then, you know, there's a budget for that at Columbia. I don't know about all schools, but you might want to check that out as well.
So speaking of outlining, another hack is I definitely recommend Quimby. I think Quimby was so helpful.
Quimby was the GOAT.
From the videos to the briefs. Use it early and often because it really breaks down information in a very clear and simple way. And for me personally, after 1.0, I didn't read cases, so Quimby Quimby case briefs were like my go-to. And if a case wasn't on Quimby, then I'd Google it, and like sometimes things will come up. But yeah, that's something that I definitely recommend.
I remember you told me you stopped reading the corporation cases. I was like, oh yeah, she's tripping.
Yeah.
But then when you got cold called, you knew damn the same amount.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wasting time here.
And I was taking, I think I was taking more classes. Yeah, I was taking more classes. So got to the point where it was like, I had to make a decision.
It wasn't possible.
Yeah, it's like I'm taking too many classes. I can't read all these cases, like, or I can't do everything that's I'm supposed to do. Like, where can I cut? And cutting cases actually ended up being the right decision. So, just personal thing.
You was smart.
Oh, thank you.
So another one that I am thinking of, maybe it's just because my mind is still in the budget-friendly lane, is that there are certain expenses that aren't considered as a part of your loans cap, if that makes sense. So let's say your laptop breaks, you need a new laptop, or some other expense. You can actually go to your financial aid office and let them know, like, hey, I need a new laptop, and they may be able to put in a request to extend your extend your loan amount in order to cover that new laptop.
Exactly, and there's no proof for the fact that your laptop was broken, so
you just gotta show the price of the laptop
that you want.
Yeah.
So. Okay, next tip on this budget-friendly tip is if you are broke law student, you know, all these loans and whatnot, and you're trying not to spend a lot of money.
Don't have no shame in your game. I was a broke law student.
No shame at all. Make sure you go to the free lunches because that's cutting down on your grocery budget. Sometimes at the end they have extra food. Grab an extra box of food on the way out. Like, there's no shame in going to a lunch event just for the food. Like, why not?
Why not? For those classes that consider participation as a part of whether your teacher will bump you up or down, I know this is also a murky area because a lot of schools will say, hey, it's a strict grading system, it's all anonymous, it's all this or that. But teachers definitely will say that they will bump you up if you're right next to the plus or if you're right next to the minus based on how much you participate in class. That said, something that I have found very helpful is that you don't have to talk the whole semester, right? But within your last month or so of class, you need to talk a lot. Like, I mean, you need to raise your hand several times in class. You need to prepare questions before you go to class. It's like, okay, wait for the opening to ask them. I used to really do that. And then by the time that class is over, that professor will know your name.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And it'll seem like you've been talking so much the whole semester. Like, Sam did this in the class I was in with her, and I promise y'all she was only talking the last like 3 weeks. And suddenly she was like a huge participator, and it's like people had been talking the whole semester, and she like got those brownie points. So
like she would look for people to talk, like, do you have anything to say, type of stuff. It works. I'm telling you, it really works, and people remember.
It's probably like something psychological or something. Like, people remember something the most recent.
Yeah, you just gotta find little.
Especially if you're not someone that's comfortable with speaking up a lot in class, because that's the thing that I think professors don't take into account. Like, you can be very intelligent and just like not want to speak in front of 300 people. So
you could just be embarrassed. You could be nervous.
Yeah, like there's so many other things. So like this is a hack to where it's like, okay, I don't have to talk the whole semester, so it's less intimidating. You can just like talk towards the end.
I'm telling you, it really works. It works.
That's funny.
Actually, someone told me that. I didn't just make that up. Like, someone told me to do that, and I was like, oh, he's right. Yeah.
Last hack, kind of in the vein of being strategic. One thing that you can do before you start law school that would be helpful is if you're a slow typer, it might be worth it to take a typing class.
So helpful.
Or even, it doesn't have to be an official class. I'm sure there are things online where you can like practice
Coursera.
your posture. Coursera has that?
Probably. They got all the regular classes.
Yeah. You can like practice your typing posture. When you take those classes, you're very slow in the beginning, but then you get a lot faster. So like it might be helpful to take something like that, because a lot of the test, a lot of it is like how much you can say as well. Especially there's some questions that they call kitchen sink questions, and it's really like how many issues can you spot. And there have been a lot of times on a test where like I didn't finish. Maybe, I don't know, if I was typing, I'm a pretty faster type. I'm a pretty fast typer, but what I'm trying to say is that it's not always, it would be really difficult if I wasn't. So
you gotta get it from here to there as fast as possible.
Exactly,
well.
And there's always more you can say. So imagine if you're just typing a little bit faster, there's even more you could put down on that final. And in that time-saving type of tip, when you do have your finals, have your test or whatever, make sure you're using a lot of abbreviations. That's something that also saves time. Like the first time you use a word, write out the whole word and then put your abbreviation in parentheses, like P, like for plaintiff.
I feel like the first time I really did that was on the bar. Really? Yeah. And it's like that would have been so helpful if I would do that in law school.
Yeah. There was one test I took, I think it was Civ Pro. And I was like, how did people even take this test without abbreviations? Because there was so much information, and I was like typing as fast as I could, and I still felt like there was more I could say. So it saves a lot of time. Put P for plaintiff, D for defendant, any other abbreviations that you can, so that you can get your essay out as quickly and efficiently as possible.
I mean, that was all the hacks I had.
Yeah, me too. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let us know if it is. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments. Let us know what hacks, if you're a law student or a lawyer, let us know what hacks were helpful for you in law school. If you've tried any of these and you've been successful, let us know.
And as always, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and watch out for more videos.
Peace, y'all.